got for me?
Those last, 2 minutes
Yeah.
of the game when the Mavs were in that 10-2 run, what did you see that ultimately went into that?
Well, I think overall, execution definitely improved from game one for us. I think you got to give them credit for making some tough shots. I think overall we were on the same page defensively, but you give them credit for making some really tough shots. We got some good looks. The ball was in the hands of everyone we wanted to down the stretch, so definitely improvement from game one.
What do you just think of Luka, particularly that big tough shot that he did make from three? What was your reaction just overall from his performance?
Yeah, I had to move on to the next play pretty quickly, but even that possession right there, great defensively. I think we executed how we wanted to. You just give them credit for making that shot.
And speaking of credit, I mean, when you look up and down the stat sheet, you said you wanted more from your guys. What more did you see from them and how they were able to do the things that you said, the more threes, and it felt as if the guys coming together and people stepping up to the plate?
Without a doubt. And I think it started with the physicality. I think the way we tried to punch first tonight, very different than the first game this year. So that response from our guys, extremely encouraged by that. Our start was better. And then overall, I think we had a defensive mindset to start the game like we talked about. And then the execution. So no matter who's playing, one starter out, two starters out, it doesn't matter. The approach that we had, that has to be who we are.
Understanding that Luka has done this to a number of teams late in games, did you see, considering the way the last game ended, you showed enough to get a lead but not hold it. Here you showed enough to get a late lead but not hold it. Did you see any commonalities in the end games of these two levels?
No, I think at the end of the day, what makes teams very special at the end of the day is they have dudes who can make tough shots, just like Donovan did against us the first night, Luka did tonight. And that's the difference in layers of the league, in my opinion. And we'll grow to understand how to make plays like that at the end of the night. But overall, again, putting ourselves in a position to win ball games, we'll continue to learn.
What did you guys do against Kyrie tonight? I mean, he had this sort of a tough night, especially in the first half. What was kind of working against him?
I think overall, like I said, the mindset defensively, I think we changed coverages throughout the course of the night to give different looks like we talked about before the game. I thought our guys were mentally in it to respond, and it started with the physicality. And so we contested a lot of shots, and at the end of the night, I think we were really engaged.
Cam obviously had another 30-point outing, but I thought at times defensively it looked like he made some strides, especially trying to challenge Luka. What did you like about maybe not just his scoring, but just all around what he brought tonight?
Yeah, I think overall, knowing the strategy of the Mavericks trying to put him in pick and roll so he could guard individual defense, I love the fact that he stayed locked into our coverage, didn't deviate from that, and really showed some growth on that end of the floor. And we talked about that. He is being rewarded for being locked in, engaged, being a great teammate on both sides of the basketball.
Talked about layers of the league, and clearly, like Meek says, there's levels to this, right? So how do you get to that point when you don't have, as an example, an all-NBA guy like Luka, an all-star like Donovan, and I know obviously Ben has been an all-star in the past. How do you get to that point when you don't have an all-star who's accomplished at making those kind of shots?
Yeah, I think you continue to put those guys, or our guys, in those situations. And so 2 nights now, a game decided by 1 point, tonight decided by 5. You continue to build basically a callus being in these positions and knowing how to respond to it. I think we were much more organized tonight at the end of the game, which showed. And so you just continue to grow from there. I love putting our guys in this position, and I look forward to it.
Coach, how has Dennis Smith Jr. impressed you guys in the training camp and then also heading into the season this year?
Yeah, Dennis has been great for us. You talk about a guy that is extremely competitive. We saw that from day one in training camp, his ability to really run the second unit in training camp and have a physicality and competitiveness about him. And it's every day. And so he wears that on his shoulders, and we love that about him, and he's going to be really good for us.
You told us earlier that it was going to be a case-by-case situation for your guys if they play 30-plus minutes? You don't want them to, but you had 6 guys play 30-plus minutes, all in double figures. What did you make of just how you were able to figure out that rotation? And was it a matter of some guys without having, Cam and Nick, and that's just the way it played out?
And a little bit of me thinking ahead. We got 2 days in between games, so enough for our guys to recover was my thought about it, that I could run them a little bit longer. Wanted to play Day'Ron more, just we talked about before the game how good Luka is and Kai are against the coverage that Day'Ron will be in. I thought Doe was extremely physical for us on both ends of the floor, and we'll use these 2 days to recover for Charlotte.
And for Lonnie, what do you just make of the way that he was able to step off the bench and play? He didn't play on Wednesday,
Yeah.
but to kind of give you guys that juice that you guys needed.
So the greatest thing is, sorry, Megan, was that the conversation that I had with Lonnie. He was scheduled to play minutes on our first game, and the way the game unfolded, I went to him and told him, really, I was going to roll with the group that we had, the 10 that we were playing. And then for him to be ready and give the effort and be locked in tonight on the second game, extremely pleased with that. I think he's going to be an individual that we're going to grow to really love having on the floor on both ends. The way he attacked the baskets, he made shots, he was engaged defensively, so looking forward to it.
Jack, is there, with Cam playing these last 2 games, close minutes, late minutes, is there a growing trust in just kind of what he can do within the flow of the offense at this point now? With scoring?
Yeah, Evan, I think you look back the history with Cam and I've always had extreme confidence in him, and that is continuing to grow. I think the best part of my day today was shoot around, and he was the first one to ask a question about the coverage today. Like, that made my day. To see him grow up and be a third-year player and be engaged in how we were going to defend tonight, that's what we want for him. He is going to score the basketball, and he has the ability to get to the rim. He has the ability to engage the defense and spray that thing also. He's just grown as an individual. I'm glad I'm coaching him. We'll continue to grow together.
For the threes that you guys hit, I know you didn't want to give the number on Wednesday how many you want, but to be 21 of 43
Yeah.
from downtown, what did you like about those looks, and what do you take from this game that tells you this team can still get that amount of threes moving forward?
Yeah, and that's why on the first night kind of didn't want to give us a number. That was just a small sample size for us. I really think we can create high-quality shots with those being threes from a variety of people, just because we can play small and play big. And that was even without Cam Johnson tonight. I thought overall, if we could take away 7 mid-range shots and make those 7 more threes, I would have been even more pleased and greedy a little bit tonight, Megan. But the process was right for game 2. Now we got to be locked in for game 3.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay. Indeed. Got it.